out from my day job right now at City Hall. You can see it back there. I am brand new leader to Epicure. I just promoted July 31st, and I'm just continue pressing on.
I'll unmute myself, but I'm not going to turn my camera on because I'm driving. I'm Kelsey Zedek. I am a leader with Epicure also from Weston, Nebraska, super small town. So, yeah.
Can I just say, I think it's funny she wasn't going to turn her camera on because she's driving, yet she turned her mute off as she's driving.
That's just on my screen. It's just a button on my screen to push.
I always need the person that analyzes things more than I do. So Kelsey Z and I are on the same wavelength because I wouldn't have even really thought that through. But leave it to Tara to point out the obvious. I love it.
No, it's because
person breaking the rules all the time.
Who else wants to go?
I see some faces on here that I don't know. So I am Sarah McClanathan, Senior Leader Director from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, teacher by day, wedding officiant by weekend, and Epicure consultant all day.
I love it. Who else?
I'm Lisa Buskey, consultant, Central New York. New since July and loving it. And I just did a launch party invited all my hostesses to sample everything and did it live on Facebook and it was oodles of fun. So
that's a great idea. How fun. Good for you, Lisa. Lisa, can you remind me whose team you're in again? I think I know, but
Shelley
okay.
Winker. Yeah.
That's who I thought, but I couldn't remember. All of a sudden I blank when you always say New York. I'm like, shoot, is that Shelley's team or not? Not that a lot of us don't live right by each other, but sometimes you do, and I'm trying to always keep track. So awesome. Who else?
I'll go. I'm Courtney Renderman. I am from Leroy, Wisconsin. I am a leader now, finally, yay. And super excited to be here. I love this organization and love our mission. And let's go, it's fall.
Keep going. Who else? I'd love to hear from, several more of you. Don't be shy. Thank you for all having your cameras on. It's way more fun. I see Tracy L, who I don't get to see that often, and Julia's on, and Stephanie P. So who else wants to share?
Hello, I'm Tiffany, because Courtney beat me to it, but I'm Tiffany, and I'm from Plymouth, Indiana, and I'm a new leader too.
Well, shoot, now I have to go. Otherwise, Courtney would text me and be like, why haven't you gone yet? Anyway, I'm Emily. I live in the Bay Area, which is in California. Specifically, I live in Redwood City, but I'm originally from Wisconsin. And I am a soon-to-be leader by the end of this month. Thanks for the applause. And I am a dental hygienist by day and doggy mommy by day, as well as an Epicure consultant by night. So, yeah.
I am Tracy Lund from Plymouth, Wisconsin. I am a consultant, and I am a nurse by day, night, 24/7, 365 days a year. Everybody calls me, so I'm their phone nurse. So that's what I do, and I love Epicure.
I don't do that to you, Tracy. I do have a friend, though, that's a nurse, and I do that to her all the time. So you just made me feel really guilty because I'm like, I totally do that to one of my friends.
I get that with dental stuff, too, all the time, so.
I'm Stephanie Presley. I'm in Belle Plaine, Minnesota. My father was a pharmacist at Walgreens, and so he was like the family pharmacist. It was really funny, and he still is kind of. Anyway, well, I kind of do everything all the time. I wife all the time. I parent all the time. I have 5 kids. 2 of them don't live in this house. One's quarantined right now in college, without COVID, just in a room, my social guy, and he's really sad and it's breaking my heart. And and yeah, we've always traditionally homeschooled, and here I am.
I'm Jamie Rich, and I'm from Prague, Nebraska. And my daughter's joining us. This is Charlotte. By day, I am a clinical supervisor for a mental health and substance use treatment program. And I've been with Epicure for almost a year.
Who else wants to go? I want to give everyone a chance if they wanted to say who they were.
I'll go since Jamie just went. We gotta represent Nebraska. I'm Sarah Jessic in Omaha, and this is Daisy, who's refusing to eat her beef and broccoli. You guys, she might waste it. There's no room for wasting beef and broccoli, right? I'm just kidding. And I missed what we were introducing. I'm sorry.
No, this is perfect. So this is a great place for me just to add this again. So thank you all for tuning in. We are pretending we are together somewhere in like a hotel room, maybe a little bigger than a hotel room because we're a little bigger group than hotel room fitting size, but we are just sharing, like just saying who we are because there's a lot of new faces and we've had a wonderful season together. So this is just to honor that and just spend time together.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to have to hop off in a little bit because I have a cooking class at 7:30 and a cooking class at 8:30. So when you see my face disappear, it's probably partly because of them and partly because of that. So, yay!
I'll jump in next. I'm Nicole Stelzner. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I work in disability services by day at a university here in Milwaukee, and then I am a mom of two little guys, a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, so that keeps me really busy. And then Epicure consultant as much as I can do that right now. A little crazy at the university, but I've been trying to pick back up as it was really pretty good for me during my fast start.
This is Michelle Leiby. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can.
I'm brand new this week.
Yay!
So I'm just reading everything and trying to get set up and driving my sponsor, Tracy Brum, crazy. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm originally from Oregon. I retired in February after a 40-year career with what ended up being JP Morgan Chase. And I was a lender. I made loans to businesses of pretty large size. So I love to eat and drink wine and cook with my husband. So I just think this company and its products are right up my alley.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. I love that. That's so fun. Well, welcome. I'm so glad you got on. Sometimes I think the newest team members are a little bit like, what are we doing? And there isn't, and no one really knew what we were doing tonight. So I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Who else?
Hey, I'm Sonia. I'm in northern Wisconsin, senior leader, mom of 3, and my superpower is making cookies disappear.
Yeah, how about those chocolate pumpkin muffins I made last night or cupcakes on my cooking class? That's my superpower. I love it. Who else?
I'm Karen Gonzalez. Oh, did I just talk over someone?
Go ahead.
Hi,
Whoever's
Karen. I'm in Milwaukee. I'm a diabetes educator during the day, and I've been just started with Epicure in June, so having lots of fun because I already love talking about food. So here I am.
Love it, Karen.
So I'll go. Amanda Waterman, Epicure consultant. I am a mom of 4. So that's my superpower. I mom children. No, 3 of them are in school now. Woohoo! And I have 1 at home, but I also babysit during the day. And I epicure 24 hours a day. I mom and I epicure. Those are my superpowers. Oh, and I'm from Richland Center, Wisconsin.
I can jump in. I'm Lori Knopflicek from Maryville, Wisconsin, and I'm an administrative assistant at a 4- and 5-year-old kindergarten. Loving my job there and loving Epicure, going into my 2nd month, and I feel like I'm living the dream with Epicure. It's so much fun. I'm learning so much from everyone, and I want to thank everyone for all their help.
Oh, I love that. That's my favorite part of this business. Good for you, Lori. We're glad to have you. Jody, I feel like you want to, yes, Jody is unmuting. Go, Jody, you're up.
I'm Jody Kennedy. I'm from Iowa, and a dental hygienist by day, and a wife and mom of 2 kids.
And Jody, whose team are you on?
I am on Sarah Jessic's team.
Okay, awesome. Oh, Jamie, I saw Jamie waving like crazy now. Okay, thank you. I want to piece it together as much as I can. So cool, thank you. That's helpful, guys. That's why I don't have it on speaker view. I have it so I can piece it together. Who else was going to go? I felt like someone else was reaching for unmute.
I can go.
Please.
All right. I apologize if you can't hear me. My internet gets really choppy. So I'm Monica. I'm from Port Washington, Wisconsin, which is like a half an hour north of Milwaukee. I have been with Epicure since like August 28th or something like that, after a 7.5-year run, or I'm sorry, 7.5-year run with a different direct sales company. And had a party at the beginning of August, and a couple weeks later reached out to Annie and said, hey, let's do it. And so here I am. I actually have fallen in love with the product after I signed up, and just because the research that I had done, I liked what I was seeing and have fallen in love so much more. Oh, and I work a full-time job as an administrative assistant at a university and a part-time job at a restaurant. So I'm hoping that eventually one day I can drop, the part-time job and just be working one full-time job and Epicure.
Love it. Awesome, Monica. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Rhoda from Watertown, Wisconsin, and I have been with Epicure since November. By day, I work full-time as a service dispatcher, and by night, I play with my 3 fur babies. I deliver pizzas on the side and do Epicure when I can.
I love it. I love it. We're happy to have you, Rhoda. Yeah, I was thinking you were with us last fall. I can remember talking to you one day back and forth on Messenger when I was pulling into the pumpkin patch. I have like the weirdest memories, like they're fragmented, but I remember pulling into the pumpkin patch and talking to you. So we're so glad you're here. And who can believe that it's pumpkin season again? Anyone else? Like, where did that, especially raise your hand, put your camera on and raise your hand if you were here with us in 2019, no matter how late in the year you joined. Were you here in 2019? Yeah, okay. So that means the rest of you raised your hand because you joined in 2020. So let's see that. So if you're new in 2020, yeah, it's fun to see too. Like Emily, almost leader here this month. Tiffany, leader last month. That's fun too. So awesome. Did anybody else want to share? Otherwise, I have a guest to introduce you to. Some of you do not know her, and many of you already love and adore and respect her very much. So I want to introduce her, but I want to give everybody a chance. Was anybody else wanting to share?
I'll go. I'm Tabitha, and I am still in my month 1, going into my 2nd month, I guess. I joined when we first launched in the United States back in 2018, and it just wasn't the right time for me. But since then, I've been using the products and falling in love with it more and more, and decided that, you know what, I can't just keep using the products, sharing it with my friends and family, and not, build a business with it. So I decided to join Kayla again, and so that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Thanks, Tabitha. I feel like someone else might have just unmuted. Did somebody else want to share?
Hi, Kayla, it's Clara.
Hi, how are
you? I'm so happy for you. So, hi everyone, I'm Clara Liang from Norwalk, Connecticut. Am I the only one in the East Coast? Like very, very East Coast? I'm so happy to be in this organization. Kayla is wonderful. I've been with Epicure since last August. Oh, no, 2019 August.
Yes, yeah.
Just passed.
Yes.
So I've been doing some Epicure work, but my full-time job, it's a, I think I could call myself a cash specialist for a company. I've been with that company for 24 years, but I'm having a lot of fun with Epicure, and I'm happy to be in this organization.
Love it. Thanks, Clara.
I don't think I've ever seen Clara at night. Like I always saw her at the early morning thing.
Driving.
Driving.
Hey, if anybody wants to get up, guys, I'm still awake. I just go to the gym now. I know, like here I am trying to have fitness goals, and I miss you guys too. But if anybody wants to be up in the morning and hustling together, the Zoom line is open and anybody can jump on and use it any morning. That's a great reminder. Thanks for saying that, Clara and Stephanie, because it's there. It's open to anyone. Nobody has the Zoom line reserved in the morning, so it can be used. I miss you guys too. Now I just have to get up earlier and stay up later to make up for the time at the gym.
Yeah, I could do it now because my full-time job is slowed down because of COVID. It's just crazy. Now it's finally slowed down. I could definitely jump back on in the morning.
Okay, so Clara and Stephanie, you guys be ahead that and see who else wants to get on. I think Christy works in the morning still. There's some. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I love the community in this tribe. And I'm up, except for today when I went back to bed. Most days I'm up. Okay, awesome. Well, I have a really special, you can continue to share in the comments too. I want to make sure that we're able to jump off about 5 minutes before as a team, before 8 p.m. Central, because we have another call after this tonight celebrating anybody that's rank advanced. So if that's you, you're welcome to stay on. But I want to introduce to you, some of you maybe didn't get to work as closely with this very special woman as some of us have gotten to work with her, because when we came over to Epicure last summer, none of us knew anything. Who remembers that? Like nothing. We had tried no products. We had no business kits, nothing when we were doing the first information sessions, learning about the comp plan and the hostess plan and the products. And so we needed a lot of help. And so our global director, if you've never met her, never had the pleasure yet of working with her, is the fabulous Dana Nicholson. And she's joining us tonight to just celebrate everything we've accomplished so far in the last year. But in particular, tonight was about making sure you can see each other and you feel connected and you know what an amazing season 2 we just accomplished. Some of you hit biggest goals. I see Mary's joining us right now, our brand new senior director in this organization. And success isn't just a rank advancement either. Success is closing that first class, having fun. How many of you shared Michelle Libby? Am I saying that right? I might be saying it wrong, but you know, retiring after, I think you said 40 years almost of a career and coming here and choosing this. And Lori sharing how much fun you're having. Like that's success, you guys. That's the definition of an awesome team and a community and a thriving company. And so I wanted to just let Dana have the floor for a couple minutes and just share with you a little bit, because she's so wise. She's been here 20 years. She knows the company and the industry, and I've learned so much from her, but also just because anything she shares is always fun. She is always having fun, and she reminds me every single time I hear from her why I love what we do. And that's what I wanted you to get from tonight. So without further ado, Miss Dana, I want to find you on my screen. There's a whole bunch of people on here. There you are. Hello, Dana.
Hey everybody, thank you so much, Kayla. I am so excited to be here with all of you tonight. And if you hear children yelling, don't worry, everybody's fine. There's no fire in my house or emergency. It's kids. Though, what an opportunity to come together and to really think about whether you've been here for a week or you've been here for 3 months or 6 months or from the very beginning. And shout out to all of you because I see the names that I recognize. And it's so funny, Tabitha, I was like, she was here at the beginning. She was here. And Clara and Stephanie and all of the people that I see. And it just fills me with so much joy and so much excitement. And I want to say thank you. Because a year ago, or just over a year ago, Epicure was brand new in the US. And what this tells me in just a year is that all of you and Kayla took this leap of faith into this company. And it really reminds me of 20 years ago when I basically did the same thing and just what that journey has been like. And that's what I just want to share with you tonight, is just because sometimes working from home and the grind of it, it's not that glamorous. I don't look like this. Let's be real. I put makeup on here, though I would not change a thing. And it feels really good to say 20 years later, looking back and reflecting, that, and for those of you who don't know my story, I was given a couple of products as a gift, and I called the company to reorder, and they said, oh, well, you have to buy through a consultant, so why don't you become a consultant? And I said, no thanks, I don't like anything to do with home parties. So for those of you who weren't sure, or maybe you're thinking, well, I don't know what this can be, I don't know, I want you to know, if you have that little spark inside you, just stay with it, stick with it, and be a part of this team, because there's a place here for everybody. And whether you're here to get your products for free or a discount, or you're here for part-time income, or you want to link arms and run for leadership, that can be done here. And I want you to think about, how many of you have heard about Mary Kay Company? How many of you have heard of Stella and Dot? How many of you have heard of Rodan and Fields? So think about how those companies have grown, and that is what is here for everybody, whatever you decide. And that's, I think, one of the things that's most special to me and important to me, that there, and I know for Kayla too, is that there is a place here for everybody. So thinking back over the challenges and the bumps, and I had a 6-month-old baby when I started my business, and now I have a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a soon-to-be 15-year-old. So that's why you hear the yelling. And to be able just to be here, like, my kids know no different. And it's really interesting too, as they've grown up and just observed other, the way other families have, and just the choices that we've made, and just how they are, as they become these young adults, they realize that, oh, well, so-and-so's parents couldn't go on a field trip, or, everybody makes choices. And that's something that my husband and I talk about a lot as well. So for me, it was really redefining success, because I grew up in a house where you got a job and you worked for a company, and that was success. And so a lot of people, even in my family, were like, what are you doing? Like, is that a real job? And you can't cook very well, so why are you, how are you going to cook for other people? And just all of these kind of lessons that I've learned. The other thing that I want to share with you, did somebody want to come off and comment? I thought I heard somebody. That thought is gone now. Oh, I wanted to tell you about just with how my family responded. And, one of my aunts thought I got paid in free spices. So after a couple years of doing this and seeing her at family reunions and different events, she was like, don't you have enough of those free spices? So it's been really, really interesting. And I think some of these things still bubble up and still happen, and people still have their perceptions of direct sales. And I just want you to know that in 20 years, this, I feel like I've been in service to people in terms of my customers, my hosts, and my team members. And that is also super, super fulfilling. And this business can fill you up in different ways. And another thing is, and I have this conversation with my girlfriends, is that what this culture is all about. And Kayla with her leaders is just created this beautiful tapestry of culture that all of you can plug into and be a part of. And I know, talking to my girlfriends, when they go off to work, that isn't part of most of their normals. And so again, just going back to, maybe you're here for that. Maybe you're here for the positive community and the culture. And whatever that is, how are you defining success for yourself? And how are you defining what your business looks like? Because we all have a choice here. And we have had the biggest year ever during a pandemic. Does anybody else, like, when you think about that, like during a pandemic, just like grocery stores are having off the chart growth and success, we are having the same. And I just really want you to feel that. I want you to be proud of what you're doing. Be proud to be here in year 1 of Epicure. And then think about, where will you be in 5 years or 10 years, 15 years? What will that look like? And what could that look like in 20 years for some of you? Because another great thing that I love is that my commute, and I know more people are working from home, though I've had about a 20-second commute for the last 20 years as well. And I think that that is just the best thing going. I've never had to, drive in rush hour or do anything like that. So to wrap things up, and I don't know if people have questions or Kayla, what the rest of the agenda is, though really think about, how is this business blessing you? How is this business and this team served you? And then how will you continue to show up and bless and serve others? Because that's what this is all about. Having a positive impact, making a difference, serving busy families. And that we have this incredible opportunity, this business opportunity, to make a few dollars, make a part-time income, make a 6-figure income. And again, I just want to say I'm so excited for all of you. It is just a joy to watch this team grow, leaders promote, new consultants come on board. And I think I was counting, I think there's like 14 different states on here right now too. And what will that feel like when you're in all, and forgive me, how many states are there in the US? 52? Is that right?
50.
50, okay. So how will that feel when you're in all 50 states in the US? So bravo, toast to everybody here. What an incredible year. Amazing. Cheers, everybody.
I love that. Thank you so much, Dana. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was thinking too, sometimes we can get wrapped up in how busy the social media world is right now, and the notifications coming, from Epicure, and for many of you out of your school districts, and many of you out of your full-time careers. And when you live remote, you obviously survive, or when you work remote, you survive on the notifications, the emails, the correspondence. And so that can feel so busy. And yet every time I get caught up in that, I try to remind myself, I have friends that have been asked to take, I was sharing with the upper leaders today, I have a best friend that was asked to take a 20% pay cut this year to keep her job, just an hour south of me. And so they she used to be a part of a direct sales company just for the discount that charges a monthly fee. And the reason I found out she took the pay cut is I reached out to her and asked her if she could get me the supplement that I use. And she said, actually, I canceled the membership. We made huge cuts in our family. I took a 20% pay cut this year. And that's a lot of money. And I was like, as I'm sitting thinking, wow, looking at Mary's success, and just again, one story, but just senior directorship. When I remember Mary last year, I hope you can hear me, you were saying to me, 6 people and 6,000 QB. Now it just seems like really and it's just, and in every story of success, there's a process and a journey. And so that makes it so beautiful and so awesome to watch. But that the comment about the pandemic really stuck with me, Dana, because I feel like it's easy to forget that in the crazy and the stockouts, or something missing in a shipment, that makes a customer frustrated or whatever. But if you look at the big picture right now, what a true blessing it is to be a part of this company and your organization, and you staying 20 years later plugged in and running classes. I just used this too. Dana, I was sharing the story. If you don't follow Dana Nicholson on Facebook, you should. She was running a cooking class the other night, and I reached out to her and was like, where did you get that sign in the background? I want that. But what a powerful example to see 20 years later. Dana runs cooking classes like we train, and she knows that that's the best vehicle to share good food real fast. And she is plugged. She's here tonight, taking time out of her evening with her teenagers, probably wrecking the house behind the scenes. So I'm just,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm just so thankful for you. Does anybody, before Dana goes tonight, does anyone have a question specific to her, and just with her knowledge and her expertise, maybe related directly to your business or just in general to the industry? I'd love for you to ask it if you have it, and don't be shy.
I just want to say it's good to see your face again, Dana. It's been a while, and it's good to see you.
It's so good to see you. And it's so interesting when you said about Mary saying 6 people in 6,000. There was more than Mary saying that.
I think I said that, okay? Like,
what?
Yeah, if you know my husband, I think that first night we were looking at the comp plan stuff, he's like, that's kind of high for leaders. And I was like, you think? And he's like, and again, we only had one point of reference. So we just were like comparing, and I just have this belief in my heart that when it's meant to be, it will work out. So I was very confident, even if I was subconsciously thinking it's double, but that's okay. We can do this. But now, and Mary has been saying this since we came on board last August. I've heard Mary say this so many times, I think it myself now. And so when you speak into the universe becomes reality. But Mary kept saying, but we're building stronger and sustainable teams. And we're building this to where you're not worrying every month what your income will be or what your team numbers will look like. And that's across the board. That's the Fast Start program that teaches a new consultant the right way to grow a business. That's the tools that come out from corporate when they give you a demo. It's not like, I don't want to say a half-assed demo, but it's I don't like to use that language, but it's a really good resource to use and to follow. And I think everything's been that way, Dana. And again, starting with you answering all of our questions and putting all of our fears aside in July of 2019. And then it's just now been this beautiful, it's been this beautiful year, but specifically this season 2 has been phenomenal. Just the growth that we've seen, and
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, it gives me goosebumps. And when everybody was introducing themselves and talking about how long they've been here and, why they're here, truly just goosebumps. And I mean, just think, this is 3 screens. There's going to be, how many people? 500 or more than that in your organization now, Kayla? Like,
more, over 600, yeah.
It's going to double and double and double. It's going to be bananas in all the best ways. I love bananas.
And just go ahead. Talking about the support from the top 2, that's one of the things that I talk about in my demos, whether virtual or in person, is how, like, where this company came from and how we get support from the top right on down, and how you don't get that at a lot of places either. Even a lot of like regular 9-to-5 jobs too, as you often don't hear from people who are, senior positions. And so I just thank you again for your time and the fact that you do support, all the way on down the line with all of your organizations. It speaks volume.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I love what I do, and I want to share that. And it has just been so much fun. It's been a roller coaster ride, a rocket ship ride, however you want to define it, but all the ways, all the best ways.
Did anybody else have a question for Dana or a thought? Thank you, Sarah, for unmuting. That was so perfect. I agree with you. It's fun to get together again like it is summer of 2019, because so very much has changed. And with amazing growth comes just change, right? And it's beautiful, but it's different.
I do have a question. This is Michelle Leiby again. I think your newest and maybe your oldest recruit. But for Dana, you mentioned that you voiced the objection when you called about making purchasing a second order and you said you really don't believe in home parties. I think that's probably a primary objection that most of the people in the organization hear. So what was their comeback? How did they convince you that you should think otherwise and take this opportunity 20 years ago?
You know, that's a really good question. And I think, I was talking to a receptionist on the line, because back then we had like about 300 consultants. So there was no like trainer or anybody to reach out to me. I think back now, and we were just that small. And it was basically, I had a catalog. They sent me a catalog and I just thought about it, went back with questions. And my husband was in the military. He's now retired. And because of our Epicure business, he was able to retire at the age of 41. And at the time he was on a tour of duty, gone for 7 months. And back then you got one 15-minute phone call a week. And if you were lucky, you could, because there was such a delay on the line, it was crazy. Though I just said to him, and we didn't have the money really, Michelle, like we were in that season of life where we ran out of money before we ran out of month. And he just said, Dana, if you want to give this a try, just go for it. Just try it. It's food. Like if you don't like it, we'll eat it and burn the manual. And it's so true. And I just took that leap of faith, though I didn't have this support. And I think that's what's so amazing is there are all of these, not only corporate resources now and trainings and tools, though back then we had this from Sylvie, our president, when we would connect with her, though there wasn't, we had to grow this ourselves. And so to have this culture now is just amazing. And so I fumbled along the way a lot and failed a lot in the beginning. And just, I call them like a God wink when I would be doing, because back in the day, no social media, it was on the phone or in person. And I would set up that time to do my customer care calls and pick up that 1,000-pound phone, and just sometimes I would pray somebody would answer, and sometimes I'd pray for an answering machine because I was so scared to talk to people. So what happened, and I remember this, I had done customer care calls, left a bunch of messages, got a no or not right now or whatever, and took the kids to the park, came back, and there was a message from somebody ordering something and booking a class. And to me, that was a God wink. That was a little whisper, keep going, keep going, keep going. And that was, I just had a number of those to continue on and build up my confidence. Kayla's a 10 out of 10 with confidence. I was like a 2 out of 10 I would have given myself.
Well, congratulations on just a phenomenal career.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you said that, Dana, because sometimes I forget. A lot of that, though, now you know me in my 5.5 year into 6.5 year in the industry. I think when I first started back, I was afraid to take so we obviously sell spices, and I did in my last opportunity as well, but I also had sauces and oils and things that you didn't want to get hot in a car. And I had a corporate job, so I would like haul my bags into my office like when no one could see them, because I was embarrassed to take like my party bags into the building. So I think too, like a lot of it has come now from realizing what this can be and having to make that decision. And for me, nobody else can make this for anybody else. But for me, I realized what a vehicle this was for my own like mental health. And I love it. It's my passion. It's a job I want to do. And also the financial freedom that it provides. Like no one else is going to pay our mortgage, and no one else is going to care if we have a new vehicle or a vehicle that's falling apart. Like, you know that in your heart, like if it's worth it or not. And I just decided that what does it matter if I work a full-time job and I carry my taco seasoning bag through the office? Like, in fact, once I like got more comfortable, then people were buying from me in the office and like asking me how my parties were going and asking me about my first incentive trip I ever earned. And I think then the confidence builds, like Dana said. But I think so many times back, you see the version of Dana now 20 years and you see me almost 7, but I was afraid I wasn't going to earn that first trip after I spoke it out loud too, and, you know, set it into the universe. I'm going to earn this, and started telling my family. And I thought, just like everyone else does, what if I don't earn it now? Like, I have to work hard. It's a lot of trip points. And what if I don't hit director by the date that I first set? Or what if there was lots of different things over the years. Those are just two that stand out that I was afraid to say out loud. I was that same person. But now I realize there's so much power in going for something. And even if you fall short at first, you're still going there. You still are that much closer. And yeah, I'm glad you said that, Dana, because I forget sometimes to take it back to, I was once scared too.
Yeah, and with goals, I mean, we've just learned that you move the goalpost. You don't take away the goal. You just move the goalpost, and that's to why, you know, the 20-year entrepreneur businesswoman that I am today, I am so damn proud. I feel a great responsibility to share what this business can do for women. And I will continue to be an advocate for direct sales and what this business model can do for women. The other thing that I wanted to just touch on was having four kids under the age of 5. This also, reflecting back, was so good for my mental health. And, you know, my girlfriends have asked me before about baby blues and about, you know, did I go through any of that postpartum depression or anything? And I know that I didn't. And I believe part of it was because I had this and it was mine. Was I exhausted sometimes? Absolutely. Though having this and being able to go out and do a couple classes a week and talk to grownups, I mean, that was so good for my mental health. And so much so because my husband was military, we moved around like 4 or 5 times. And at one point when we moved, I was still doing sales and different things in my previous city. And in our new posting, I hadn't really gotten out and met anyone yet. And he came to me one night and he said, you got to get out and meet some people. You need to get out and do some classes, because he could see a difference in how I was showing up as a mom and as a wife and all of those things. So thank you, Kayla. Thank you for the invitation, and thank you everybody here.
Anybody else wanna share? Or like I said, we have the amazing Dana. So I just love the opportunity I only giggle because I do think back to those first weeks, and I literally thought Dana has to be thinking to herself, okay, I'm gonna say this out loud. I never said this out loud before, except this week I said this to my leaders. I said, Dana had to be thinking out loud, this lady better sell something after all of this, because for a long time you joined, right? Who was with me? We asked her a ton of questions, June 28th to July 9th. Then we bought a business kit and couldn't sell a product until August 20th. In the meantime, we used 700 hours of Dana's time to get set up to go. And I was thinking, I mean, part of me was thinking the same thing. I'm sitting behind the scenes doing things that Dana doesn't even know I'm doing, thinking, this better work out, or this is going to be an interesting year. I mean, I was committed no matter what. I wasn't judging it on one day or 1 year even. But it's funny that the other day, I don't know how this hit me, but I was taking a shower, do my best thinking there. And I was like, I think we did okay in our first year. I think Dana's okay with the results. I think that this has been a good year. So yeah, it was just fun to think about.
Phenomenal year. Bravo, everybody. Truly, bravo.
Yeah. To all of you, you all make our tribe so special. And again, those of you that are leaders, you're going to hear a little bit of this in the coming weeks as a part of our leader summit. But to everyone on here, the things you don't know you'll get out of this industry will end up being the sweetest parts of the career for sure. And they're definitely the parts that keep me going, because the income has been good for several years. I've learned what is possible, and I have goals there, but it's not actually what gets me out of bed in the morning, and it's not actually what motivates me. It has to be deeper than that at this point now in my career. And it's definitely watching each one of you have wins or successes, or even overcoming a fear or a hesitation or a stumbling block. So I love that you guys are starting to get to know each other and you're texting each other behind the scenes. a lot of people know this, but my very best friends in the world are in the industry, are in Epicure with us. And so that has been just so fun to cheer each other on. And yeah.
Hey, Dana, I have a question for you. What's your favorite book and what's your favorite quote to live by?
Oh boy. Oh, that is a good one. Those are both good. Favorite book, I have so many, and because years ago we didn't have podcasts, we didn't have any of that. So I have a huge library. One of the most recent books I've read is called Atomic Habits, and maybe some of you have read that.
I have read that, and it's a little dry at first, but it's a really good book.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I could share. There's been so many books. I'm going to post one. I'll post one in your group from years ago that I read, and it just made such an impact on me. Also years ago, a couple by Jack Canfield called Success Principles, I believe it's called. And also Aladdin Factor were huge in my just personal growth and development in terms of asking people. And a quote, Courtney, that is a good one. I don't know if I have just one quote that sticks out to me. I'm going to think on that, and I'm going to post my favorite in the Troutman Tribe group too.
Thank you, Dana.
That was a good question. Anyone else?
I just wanted to, this is Stephanie. I just wanted to say, Dana and everybody like across the board, trickling all the way down. Dana, you said that this whole infrastructure didn't exist, that you guys had to build it. You can't build something like this unless it's on the inside of you. So it was in Sylvie to be that loving and that kind and that real and that honest, and it was in you. And I think that is what attracted us to you and the organization. And it doesn't matter who across the board. I mean, how many people got on and said, okay, well, forgive me if you hear my kids, or forgive me if you da-da-da-da-da. We are living real lives, and it's okay. And you don't find that anywhere else, where it's okay to not be pretentious. So thank you for creating something real, because that's hard. That's it.
Oh, thank you. I'm just going to take that in for a minute. Thank you.
It's funny, going into tonight, you guys, I was like, oh man, do I need to have grandma come over or something? Because I have Macaulay tonight myself on Nate Bowles, and he needs that. We all need things. And even though this is like his only busy season of the year is this month, I want him to have that time. And so Stephanie, it's just what you thought. I had that moment too a couple days ago where I was like, no, you know what? He'll sit on my lap if he has to. He'll color. And if anything, it shows you just what you just said, Stephanie, that I don't want you guys to think it's always easy over here, sunshine and rainbows. The one morning, I'll be the most motivated and ready to just crush it after the gym. Macaulay's knocking on my office door at 6:04 a.m. and he never gets up that early, but that's life, right? And I think that is being an entrepreneur, and it's never easy, but it's always, and I shouldn't say never, but it's not always easy, but it's definitely always worth it at the end of the day.
100%, 100%.
I love all the comments.
Oh,
I'm so proud of all of you. I just want to say that as we wrap up, thank you for taking time out of your night. I know some of you are on Zoom all day. Some of you are teaching students virtually. Some of you are like, if I have to see one more Zoom link or meeting or anything. But I cannot tell you enough, for me, how much this community has meant since the start of 2020 and things totally changing. I am very much like Dana in the season with having just one little, so I can't imagine 4. I love my in-person cooking classes and my night or 2 out of the house. I miss them a lot. I miss
just letting my personality shine and being with people. And so this is what we have to cling to right now. And I'm forever grateful for technology and for those of you that take time after working a full day, still needing to do bath and bedtime, or you're running cooking classes right now. And I know that. So never think ever that I don't feel that, or that Dana doesn't see that, or that the company doesn't acknowledge that. We know that many of you, like Laura, I saw just commented, Laura's an assistant principal and doing so many different things right now in the virtual school world that she wasn't ever planning on signing up for, I don't think. When I've heard some of the things she's doing for massive amounts of students, and I'm like, holy cow, there's no one else to do that. But that's what makes each of you successful here, is your heart for just people in general, and what you do in your careers makes you better, and the way you love on your families. So again, just thank you for tuning in. That means a lot to me. I really, really crave that connection right now with just being remote, being so on our own. So I love reading the things. Anyone else? Last chance. Courtney's going to hold Dana accountable to share a book or two and a quote in our group. Look at her face. I can see it. Courtney will hold you accountable.
Yes, you do that, Courtney. Give me 24 hours.
Do you want another hard one?
Sure.
Okay, if everything vanished, you had to start all over again tomorrow, what would be your first steps, and what would be your plan to rise?
How do you come up with these things?
I listen to podcasts and they ask these questions. So I'm always like, what are your answers, people? Tell me.
Kayla, that was you a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like we can't. Did you see my face when she was asking it? I was like, I know what it's like to start over. I think there's quite a few of us on this call. I mean, it was a little different in a sense. Courtney used the word vanish, and I feel so honored that I'm not going to name them all. I'm going to offend somebody, but that Sam and Sarah and Jess Huffman and Laura and Sherry Ide and many from the other company chose to come with me. Like, that loyalty has meant the world to me. It's definitely kept me going in 2020 and helps me remember why I show up every day. So I can't quite answer it to vanished. I can't speak to that, but I can speak to like basically a bulldozer knocking over 5 years. And so, but Dana's got, I would love to hear her answer as well.
I will share that in the group. I have to think, sometimes I'm good on the fly like that. I want to think about it. I'm a processor.
I got you. Thanks for dealing with my hardness.
No, I love it. I love it.
I thought she was going to say, which Epicure seasoning would you save? And then she went deep.
What, Dana, what would you save? That one you don't have to think about. What's your favorite?
Gosh, I would have to go with Poco and guacamole, probably would be my top two.
Yeah, no doubt. But how about the garlic and red pepper flake thing that I was watching you use for like 6 months, and then we finally got it, and now they took it away from us, and I like almost cried. That one is so good. But isn't that weird? It's weird how somebody else on this call probably never even thought to buy it, like it's not on their radar at all, or it just wouldn't be a favorite of theirs. Because I feel like the nacho cheese is probably, if I had to pick one Epicure, I'd go for the nacho cheese. I love the flavor. Yes, I just love it. I like want to put on everything. Every single thing I make could have nacho cheese on it. But I'm also from Wisconsin. I think that has something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe not.
You would have said, well, oh, you know what? You know what would be close up there too right now? The queso. I hope you never take that away.
True.
That's what I was going to say, Dana. If you have the poco and the guacamole, you have to have the queso with it because that just goes together.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I'm meeting a friend tomorrow, and I'm making a charcuterie board with all Epicure, and it's pico, guacamole, and queso, and she has no idea. She's never tasted it before, so I'm excited.
You're gonna blow her away.
Kayla, I find it kind of funny that you say the nacho cheese, because the nacho cheese is the product that got me to sign up. Just saying. The hot cheese dip.
Yeah.
That's what got me.
What I'm talking about right there. The nacho cheese is so good.
And I also agree with Dana. The queso, that's I would show you my stash. You guys probably have similar ones, but that's what keeps me here is the queso discount because it's just so good. No, I'm just kidding. That's amazing. Yes.
Just add cheese. I'll show up.
Awesome. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this call then. I'm going to quick go Mom McCully and make sure he's set to go for the next one. Thank you so much, Dana, and to all of you leaders and above and all of you consultants that joined us tonight. Congratulations. And then anybody that's rank advanced, we're going to celebrate in the next hour together here shortly. So I'm going to end this one and get the recording going. Check on McCully, and then we'll be back. Bye, everybody.